So in previous session, we have seen the basics of Unix operating system. As I had told you that to learn the iOS architecture in more depth, we should have the basic knowledge related to the Unix operating system. So let's see the history related to the iOS operating system. As you might be heard that the iOS operating system was invented by Mr. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs by Apple Electronics, and it was first time introduced in June 2007. By introducing the mobile device which is installed with iOS operating system. As when the mobile device installed with iOS operating system was introduced, which is called as iPhone, is specially called as a smartphone. After which the mobile device which is equipped with any smartphone operating system is said to be as a smartphone. That is the first time the smartphone name was given by Mr. Steve Jobs while introducing his first smartphone which is installed with iOS operating system. Now, this iOS operating system is developed on Unix operating systems platform, and the programming languages used to develop this OS are C, C++, and assembly languages. But it's not like it will not support the applications developed in rest of the programming languages, because iOS architecture itself includes some layers which supports this kind of universal based applications. So later on we will see in more depth how those layers supports for such kind of universal based applications too. So as we already seen that how iOS follows the basics of Unix operating system, as we already learned the layers of Unix operating system, that is the basics related to the Unix operating system in previous session. Also we already gone through the how any application is executed in smartphone based operating systems. So it is fine that iOS was introduced in 2007. So day by day the updates are coming. The updates are related to the operating system as well as to the hardware also, because though the updates are coming for operating system, it's not like the hardware should not be upgraded. So day by day its hardware is also upgraded, which might be the prerequisite to the minimum prerequisite to learn the particular operating system also. Now if you see the current updates related to the hardware used in iPhone devices which is installed with iOS are like the hardware, that is the CPU used is A series based A13 CPU, and which is hexa-core. Its RAM is 4 GB, and its hard drive memory may vary from 64 GB to 512 GB too. So this is current hardware configuration used in the iPhone devices, and obviously day by day it will be upgraded soon, as it might be the minimum prerequisite to learn the particular updated iOS operating system too. So this is the history of iOS operating system. Now let's see more detailed study about iOS architecture with respect to its layers. If you see the figure number 4, iOS architecture has 4 major layers, where first layer is a cocoa attached layer, next one is media layer, third one is core services, and last one is core OS. Now if we compare something with Unix Unix operating systems architecture, now don't try to compare the number of layers and the sequence of layer with the Unix operating systems layer. Just try to understand each layer with respect to the working of those layers of operating system. Like here the core OS, core services, media, and co-quarters. Each works independently to process the requested input. Though we have already learned the Unix-based architecture, which has application, then next layer was your operating system layer, then kernel, and last one was this hardware layer. So here each four layer works independently, and each layer is correlated to the type of request generated by the user or by the system though. So it's not like here the media is related to the operating system only, and core services are related to the kernel only. It's not like so. Remember, so don't get confused and don't try to compare same thing with Unix-based architecture. Just the working behind both of the architectures are similar. That's why we had seen the Unix-based architecture first of all. So here, first of all, if you see the first layer is cocoa touch layer. So in short, it acts as application layer. It is fine, but not in exactly way as we have learned the basics related to the Unix operating system. Here, especially, it is related to the graphics-based content, which includes a set of kit frameworks for multiple appliances or multiple application support. Now basically it supports MVC architecture, that is a model view control. Now here basically if you see the diagram related to the MVC, just try to observe those arrows. M stands for model, obviously V stands for view, and C stands for controller. So in short, this MVC supports the applications, that is in short whatever the data is coming through the rest of the layers. Now it should be supported to the application layer of a particular user interface, and the same request should be displayed through that application layer or whatever user interface is available. So this MVC supports this kind of functionality. Now in a very simple case, now consider an example where the data is coming, it may not be in the desired format, it may not be in the desired dimension, it may not support the graphics related to the iOS operating system's user interface though. So this MVC does this role, which in somehow in some required time it may convert the desired input into the desired output also. So this is a very important role of MVC. Now in short, the controller passes this information to the model segment of this MVC, and parallelly it goes to the view also. So whatever the information is coming, first of all it will be analyzed, and it may be converted into the desired user interface format. So in short, some standard graphics content is supported by this Cocoa touch layer through this MVC. In a very simple example, another case you can consider, like there might be some non-universal functions or non-universal supported data might be coming from the server also, which should be displayed through the user interface of iOS user also. So in that case, this output will be displayed in a very smooth way due to this MVC architecture. Basically what we can use this, it includes the relevant supported graphics files to display a particular user interface, though it may not supported by the iOS device also. So and even though it includes a set of kits also required to support for a particular graphic related functions also. So this is just introduction to your iOS architecture.